Tracy at Siberia. Come on down here. We're open from 3 to 4 every night. We're fighting the Rockefellers. Come on, rock out with us against the Rockefellers. Have a good one.
Hey, I'm Tracy. This is Siberia. This is it, man. We're here. Rock and roll. There's my family. There's my sign, Larry McShane. The Divas, they're all here. Come on, let's get drunk. All right, we're at 50th Street, and this is cool. We don't have any signs. We're at 50th Street and Broadway. The other thing is, it happens to be the only bar ever in the history of New York to be in the subway.
About 4 years ago, I read a short piece in the newspaper about a bar opening up on the subway that might allegedly have been a former KGB money drop. I was there immediately.
I was in a bar in the East Village about 8 years ago. I met this guy, his name was Yuri, and he told me all about this thing, and he worked for the KGB, and I'm like, this guy's stoned out of his mind on acid or something. So one day he says, we go uptown. Now Yuri's never been above 14th Street in his whole life that I know of. Anyway, he comes here, shows me this place, he goes, I KGB, they catch 3 friends, I run like rabbit, FBI. I'm like, guy's sick. So anyway, I found out what a great place to open a bar. So Yuri was half Siberian, so we called it Siberia Bar. We wanted to expand the place, and we went into we used to call it the Blue Room. Now it's where the pinball machine is. So we broke down the wall, we found KGB documents. So if you look, we only get smart people and brave people. And we have an authentic rooster here.
На самом деле, если ты подумаешь, что вот это Сибирия, и там другая Сибирия существует. Это очень похоже, очень похоже.
Siberia is the coolest place in town, hands down. There's no other place.
Well, the only thing I can say is that there's no other place like this in the city.
Our music is very good. Jukebox is written up 9 times as best jukebox in New York.
Siberia rocks. Awesome drinks. Location. Vibe. Crowd. The bands. Everything, man.
Being that I've hung out in all the dirty, sleazy places that you could probably find, this is probably the best one you can come to.
Let's do a shot.
I think I was around the 4th, maybe 2nd, 3rd, or 4th customer in this place, at which point I encountered Mr. Westmoreland. My recollection of that time is hazy, but suffice to say that this immediately became a center of criminal activity involving me and my known associates of the time.
First place I ever walked into, and Tracy just came right up to me, and I've never felt more at home in another bar. It's not pretentious. You can come in here being whoever you want to be, and you can be welcomed, and you're going to get service. And it's great.
This is one of the last remaining spots in the city where it doesn't matter who you are, you're welcome. You know, all you do is show up, Tracy gives you a bear hug, buys you a drink, and you're home.
Tracy Lee Westmoreland from Rockaway Beach, born in West Virginia, came here to this city, all right, and then saved the money to open this place. I got 8 years left on my lease, coincidentally. 8 years left on my lease. The Rockefellers come, find some technicality in the lease. They throw out the Pakistani, they throw out the Russian, they throw out the Indian, they throw out the Dominicans. This is what we're at now. The mighty Rockefeller Group that incidentally is owned by Mitsubishi. This wonderful, sweet company is trying to evict me and all these immigrants from Siberia. But these people, I got a wife and 3 kids, and these people are trying to take the bread out of my kids' mouths. It makes me very, 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 very angry.
Absolutely fucked up.
The thing that's like unfortunate is that, like, as Tracy said, he had a stipulation. You know, he has an agreement where they said, look, we want you out of here because we're tearing down the building. So he said, all right, tearing down the building, fine, I'm going to leave. Then he finds out that, in fact, that's just a ruse. It's a ruse so that they can raise rents. They can screw this poor guy next door. This guy, like, he's got no entree. The cobbler, hey, he fixes your shoes. He's like, oh, you like him, but, you know, one day he's gone and you don't think twice about it.
It's a true David and Goliath horrible story. You understand? If this Russian guy gets thrown out, he says to me, Tracy, this I can do. He goes, if I lose this, I lose house. I am 56 years old. I can't speak English. No job, no business. I have nothing. The guy's got a wife, he's got a kid. Do these people care? This is the way they do business.
So in a way, his fight is not just about him. His fight is about a whole bunch of little people.
They've come in, they've hustled everybody. They've taken a piece of they've given them a piece of the American dream and the American pie and took it away from them. They said, yeah, you can have a business here, you can feed your family until we decide that we want the property back because the real estate's went up. It's a hustle. That's all it is. These people should be so ashamed of themselves.
Once again, the evil Rockefellers, much like Attica, have put their foot on the neck of the working classes. You know, these imperialist ratbag scum pigs, you know, should be hunted down and neutered.
I am the only person fighting because I'm the only person who will stand up to these people. 9 months ago, I'm sitting here in a bar. Some guy walks in. He looks like reject casting from the old Mike Hammer series. So he hands me this thing. He says, "Are you Tracy Lee Westmoreland?" I just walk away. I say, "My name's George, and Tracy's not here." So he throws the papers, and they hit me in the head. And he goes, "Well, George, you've been served." So I look at this thing, and it says, "I'm getting evicted." So I call up my lawyer, David Kaminsky, who's like this genius. He's like a genius in a cupboard, and he's kicking everybody's ass. He's a genius. So anyway, he reads the papers, and he says, he goes, "Tracy," he goes, "based on these papers and everything I've read, they absolutely have the legal right to kick you out." So I said, "Fine, what do we do?" He says, "We kick their ass and we stay." I said, "Okay."
David, rock and roll Kaminsky, ladies and gentlemen. Davey rocks, man.
We have a real good, hardcore group of people, which is why back to this Rockefeller Mitsubishi problem, that they're going to have a hard time getting us out of here because nobody wants it to close.
We are in the center of New York, but I mean, how more central can you be? I mean, we are right, you know, deep in the steaming entrails. So it's, you know, we're right there. So for the evil Rockefellers to even contemplate shutting this down, the universe will, you know, all objects will be cast adrift. You know, gravity will reverse, cats will start mating with dogs, the basic order of the universe will become undone, chaos, violence, and destruction will definitely ensue.
We need this job because we'll be thrown out on the street because we need the money. It's the first job we ever liked.
I am completely outraged that it is being closed down. I can't even imagine life without Siberia.
We like the people here. We like our boss, Tracy.
Siberia is a unique thing, and if you close it down, it's pretty much like shutting down what is the flavor of New York.
We're all very happy here, and we want to remain happy.
The theme tonight is salvation for Siberia. Not for the sins we commit, but for the social sin that's been committed on this establishment.
We just had the place blessed. Father Brian Jordan, he's a Franciscan priest, came down. He heard about the problem. He said, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Can you bless the place?" He goes, "Yeah." He shows up, and he's a Franciscan, so they have monk's robes. Shows up in a monk's robe, does the holy water. I mean, I always wanted to do this from the beginning, because I figured if the place was blessed by whoever, all right, a priest, rabbi, monk, that people would be better.
We're not going to stand for the Rockefellers to push us around. We're here together as sisters and brothers of one God, despite any background. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. But we're here in solidarity to support Tracy one another for freedom, understanding, and the right to work. Yeah. And the right to drink, too.
I'd like to say, it's not the Rockefeller family. The Rockefeller family actually has tried to help me. They sold off this property, and it happens to be the Rockefeller Group, which is owned by Mitsubishi. The Rockefeller Group, and Jerry Bloom, their lead attorney, says we got to be out by October 31st. They say it to the Post, the News, Newsday, Newsweek, New York Times, Channel 4, 86 million viewers, and guess what? We're still here. We're going to be chained outside in an act of civil disobedience. It's going to be me, Father Jordan. We plan on showing people what it's about.
How dare this corporate giant Mitsubishi dare fight against this wonderful man and his family. It's wrong. We're chained ourselves to his protest.
This is Tim McManus, the leader of the oldest Democratic club in New York. You think he's crazy for being here, because we know every politician in New York and he's the only one with the balls enough to come down.
This is the bar that's run by one individual who takes care of his customers. Tracy has given many, many people jobs here in the neighborhood. Without places like these small businesses, New York will not be New York.
Don't be condemned by international corporate giants. Fight for the freedoms of this country.
I will do this for the rest of my life. I'll be like herpes to them. Every time they turn around, I'm going to be a rash where it hurts.
I would crawl across broken glass naked with a knife in my teeth anytime, night or day. If Tracy called me up drunk at 4 o'clock in the morning and wanted me to show up anytime, any place wearing a fucking chicken suit, I'd do it.
Now, I'm not one for politics and all that, but what I do know is that this is the greatest place in the world to come have yourself a drink, meet some friends, have a beer, relax. This man right here, Tracy, who you've met,
Come around.
that's him, has been my family away from home. I came to New York lost, not knowing what to do, and then miraculously I found the Siberia Bar, which has just made me feel so good. It's like every bar that closed back home that made me leave where I was. He's a brother to me, he's been a father to me, a sister, a little girl, and I can't say enough, it's just the greatest place in the world. And I'm sorry, I can't go on.
You know what, this is one of the great local New York bars that has a connection to the past and everybody loves to be a part of. And there will be a revolt. I mean, I don't want to threaten the Lincoln Tunnel, the Holland Tunnel, City Hall, downtown, but I'm just saying, if this place closes, there will be repercussions.
Most Irishmen don't usually back down unless they had a reason. I don't have a reason today.
The other thing is, people keep saying to me, well, what happens when they offer you a bunch of money? This is not about money. I don't want money. I want my bar. This is not right, man. It took me 4 years to build this. It's like going to some guy who just got out of, like law school and telling him, look, we're going to give you some money. We spent 4 years working hard. We're going to give you some money, but we're going to take your degree away. This is my degree. This is wrong. They should leave me here. They should leave these other people alone.
I think to shut down this bar is pretty much just shut down the city of New York. There's nothing left. If this bar leaves, I'm leaving.
They can kiss my ass. What they're doing is wrong, and it's just like beating up little kids, all right? But this boy's fighting back. Thank you.